Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy, Coach One Stack, man. We at it again, man. We chilling. You know, just trying to be at our best, building the esteem of self through thinking. You know, trying to make better choices in life, right? Trying to become the best version of yourself. Can you dig it? And lately, I know you guys notice I've been posting a lot of, Puffy videos, Usher videos, Justin Bieber videos, just the stuff with the industry on my page, and it's all motivational at the end of the day. Because why? These guys were not being the best version of themselves with the choices that they made, which is why I'm dropping this video, y'all. Sometimes, man, God will get to a point to where he will try to give you so many signs that you need to make changes in your life, that you need to make better choices, till he gets to the point to where sometimes he break you down to your knees and make it so that he's the only one that can help you. You understand what I'm saying? That's definitely building esteem of self through thinking. And just to reiterate, man, we're gonna talk about some choices that some doctors and that Usher's mother made today. You dig? We're gonna talk about that choice. See, back in the 90s, when I was coming up, guys, I'm 47 years old. Back in them 90s, man, them 90s was something else. You got, a lot of y'all don't know that Usher went through a point where he lost his voice. When he started going through puberty, he lost his voice. And a lot of record companies didn't want to mess with Usher because he did lose his voice. Well, Puffy, on the other hand, was somebody that took him up under his wing. He was like, because you had LaFace Records, which is Babyface, and L.A. Reid, that's who signed Usher, and just so you know, a little tidbit, the first house that Usher ever bought belonged to L.A. Reid, and I think he still currently owns it. But anyways, back to the story. So Puffy took, Usher up under his wing because Puffy was dealing with L.A. Reid and Babyface, and that's when Usher's mother signed over guardianship papers to Puffy when he was 13 years old. Now, these guardianship papers, guys, the guardianship papers is like anything else. It gives you full custody over the kid. That gave Puffy full custody over Usher. So basically at that point, Puff Daddy is his daddy, so to speak. That means he has all the rights to all the schooling, with all his education. He could take him to the doctor. He could make legal decisions for him. He could do all that stuff when you have the guardianship papers. You guys know what that is. Ain't no secret. Well, guys, back in them 90s, Puffy was on this type of activity. You dig? And see, we're becoming the best version of yourself. See, we don't care about, when we make a choice, we don't care about who know about it. We don't care about who sees it. We love to talk about the choices we make. That's what this whole channel is about, right? Being at your best, building esteem of self through thinking. But the activity that Puffy had going on back then, see, guys, they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to speak about it. They was embarrassed about it. And it's that same type of activity, guys, that landed Usher in the hospital when he was 14 years old in New York City. Now, why did Usher go to the hospital? All right. For a lot of y'all youngsters who wasn't born, y'all not going to understand this video because y'all wasn't born yet. All right. Y'all not going to understand this. This was in the 90s. I'm 47 years old. I was still a teenager when this happened. Okay. So a lot of y'all youngsters, man, if you was born after 95, 96, y'all not going to understand this video. Y'all going to say, oh, he's capping. Oh, he's this. And a lot of y'all old people who can't read and that wasn't in the know are going to think that I'm capping. But really, I don't care because we be at our best, man. That means we keep everything 1,000, like this $1,000 bill tatted across my chest. So now back to Usher. Why did Usher end up in the hospital? Well, Usher ended up in the hospital in the care of Puffy when Puffy brought him there because he was bleeding from his rectum. And that's where he contracted herpes. So now I'm going to press pause right there, guys. See, we talk about choices. Guys, at this point, this is when the doctors have responsibility to tell the parents what happened to Usher. But didn't y'all catch what I just said at the beginning of this video? He was the parent. See what I'm saying? He had full guardianship over Usher. Yes, guys, for those of y'all can't read between the lines, when P. Diddy assaulted Usher and had him bleeding from his rectum when he was 14 years old, the doctors, they have to tell the guardian, who is that? That's Puffy. That means they didn't have to go to Usher's mom. Now, I don't know whether they did or didn't. I'm just telling you guys law and what happens. He was the guardian, so they go to the guardian. See, so I'm surprised at this point back then that the police didn't get involved. Because, I mean, what can you say at this point when you're 14 and you're bleeding from your rectum, Usher, like, that you did it yourself? I mean, that's probably what he said. He could have easily told these people that he was, you know, playing some type of game and he injured himself being curious, like a lot of, you know, young men and women do. You know, they start to get curious about their body and they may start to touch themselves in places that they probably shouldn't be touched because they don't know any better because they've never been touched there before. Can you dig what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, we don't know how that conversation went back then, you know, when Usher, you know, was bleeding from his rectum, you know, when he's brought to the hospital in New York, but we do know that he contracted that herpes. And guys, if you don't really know about herpes, guys, you know, you can really only pass on herpes when you're having an outbreak or when you're about to have an outbreak. So see, that's so a lot of you men and women and people out here, you know, who whatever adjective you call yourself, right? Whatever you are, you need to know that you can catch that herpes, man. And herpes is something that don't go away. And see, they always talk about that alphabet, that HIV, but that herpes, man, is another one that never goes away. And there's a lot of people out here, man, that got that herpes. So that's where he contracted that herpes at, guys, in the care and custody of Puffy. But the doctors made a bad choice and did not contact this man's mama. Puffy, of course, want to keep it on the low because you can't tell nobody. But like anything, man, what's in the dark is always going to come out to the light. At this point, for those of y'all who was alive back then, God, that's when Usher's mom took back care and custody of him. And for those of y'all who was alive during that time, you guys know you didn't hear from Usher for quite some time. You did not. You did not hear from Usher. Okay? So now we're going to move a little forward, man, when we talk about the choices. We talk about them choices that people make. See, because anything that I say on here, guys, you can go do your research. You can go find it yourself. You can go look it up because reading is fundamental and you got your own eyes. And hey, man, you got your own opinion, just like me. You can see. Go do your research and you'll see about more than 3-4 women over the years who had a lawsuit out against Usher. For what? What was the lawsuit against, guys? I'm going to tell you what that lawsuit was. And he settled out of court, which is what Puffy should have did with Cassie. What Usher did was settle out of court, and that was knowingly passing on a sexually transmitted disease to somebody. So, in other words, Usher was sued 3 or 4 times, one of them being a big, juicy black chick. I ain't even know he liked them big like that, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with big girls, because big girls need love too, man. I like some big thighs myself, you dig? But man, one of them was a big, juicy black girl. And so he was sued and he settled out of court for knowingly passing on the herpes to somebody without telling them. Yes, guys, it is a crime that if you have a STD and you are having sex without any prophylactics, which wasn't found at none of the Diddy residences, and you knowingly pass that on to somebody, guys, that is a charge. That's a charge. But R. Kelly caught that same charge. But you don't see the dirt on Usher because what did he do? He made a good choice. See, this video about choices, man. He made a choice to say, you know what? I know I got the herpes. I know I done passed on these herpes because I was having unprotected sex with these women, one of them being a big juicy mama, you dig? I done gave them the herpes. They can go back and backtrack and know it was me. I don't want my name all over the internet. Well, see, guys, it wasn't really, the internet wasn't popping in. So let me pay them and hush them up before this gets out. See, that was called a good choice. We not dogging nobody out on my channel over here. It's about making better choices, building esteem of self through thinking. Yes, guys, making better choices. So now Usher, we're going to get on another choice that Usher made. Usher, see, when you're a minor, guys, when you're a minor, you really can't control your environment and who you're around and who you're not around when you're a minor. You just can't. But when you're an adult, when you're 18 and above, you can control your environment and you have more control over the choices that you make or that you don't make. Why? Because you're grown. So what did Usher choose to do, y'all? Usher chose to be back around Diddy. Now, a lot of y'all thinking, man, why would he be back around Diddy after he done made him bleed from his rectum? He had to get sent to the hospital, right? He gave him an STD, embarrassed him. Guys, it's like any of you guys with your first sexual experience. You will never forget your first. Guys, even if it hurt, because there's a lot of women out there, man, you may get de-virginized and it may hurt a little bit, but you learn to love it. It feels good. You learn to enjoy it. You learn to turn that little bit of pain into passion. You dig? And that's the case with Usher, man. Usher is a bright, shining example of somebody who has Stockholm syndrome. Now, for you youngsters out there, man, I know you don't know what Stockholm syndrome is. I know why, because they took all your books out of school. Some of y'all, man, came from the crack baby era, which your parents might have been, parents of the crack baby era, and they didn't make y'all read. They didn't sit down and talk to y'all. So Coach One Stack, man, Uncle One Stack gonna break it down to you what Stockholm syndrome is. Stockholm syndrome is that when somebody is doing something to you and you know that it's wrong, you start to fall in love with them. You start to identify with them, right? In the case of Usher, he started to fall in love with Diddy. He started to identify with the things that Diddy was doing to him. He started to feel okay with the things that Diddy was doing to him. That's what Stockholm syndrome is, guys. Okay? So even to the point to where he knew everything that Diddy liked. So now here comes Justin Bieber. See, this is a chain of events, guys. Choices. So you got Diddy, who was Usher's idol. Michael Jackson was Usher's idol as well, but it was Diddy at the time. Now you got Justin Bieber comes along and Usher is his idol. Who do you think primed Justin Bieber for Diddy? Who do you think primed him for Diddy? Usher did, guys. Who do you think got Justin Bieber to the point to where he was ready to go around Diddy? And you got Justin Bieber's mother's trust and all her consent. Guys, that came from Usher. But see, even Justin Bieber's mom, see, a lot of y'all moms, unless y'all was around in the 90s, unless y'all was paying attention to a lot of this stuff, unless you was in the know of the know, you wouldn't have known this stuff about Usher. You definitely would have known about Diddy, man, because then Diddy got turned out by Andre Harrell years ago. That's a whole nother video, guys. But we talk about these choices here, okay? So now, as you see, every time, and these are just the ones that you see. These are just the people that you see, the victims that you see. Every time, now when Usher talks about Diddy, man, he can't even hold his head up, guys. He can't even look anybody in the face. And he's always saying, oh, he's such a nice guy. He taught me about the industry. But when asked if he would let his kids attend Diddy camp, he was like, nope, with the quickness. He answered that question real quick. Justin Bieber, fake wife, getting all the tattoos, don't know whether he want to be a man, woman, or both. Don't know whether he like a man, woman, or both, which that's his business if he do. But guys, man, what the diddler did, man, is confuse a lot of these young men, man, and trick them out of their manhood. See, guys, man, that time when you 13, 14, 15, especially if you have not been active, man, that is one of the most important times of your life where you make choices. You make choices to be who you're going to be, choices to like what you're going to like, You got choices to say what feel good and what don't feel good. That's when you have your choices to say, hey, man, somebody touched me like this. It may have felt good, but I shouldn't be doing that because it's wrong. Or somebody touched me and it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I liked it and I'm still going to do it. Guys, it's all about choices here. building esteem of self through thinking, man, making better choices, guys. So, guys, this is just, just a little video from me to you, just to let y'all know, because a lot of y'all, man, a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my day one subscribers were like, Coach One Stack, you always posting motivational videos, and now you're talking about Diddy. Well, guys, everything I post, man, you have to be able to look at it and see through it and see the lesson in it. This is the lesson of what not to do. This is the lesson of how to be a better version of yourself. This is a lesson of you can have all the power in the world to change the world, and you choose to do negative with it, and how God will turn around and spank you. So, man, if you like the video, subscribe. Make sure y'all share the video. Hit that notification bell, y'all. And make sure y'all tap into my lives. And if you need a one-on-one consultation with your boy, Coach One Stack, man, tap in.